Welcome to Hot Takes, everybody. It is I, Young SHIRO, and my co-host, Luxury Noise. Say hi to the people, Luxury Noise.
Hi.
So we are excited to have one of my favorite artists of all time, and Paul is a big fan as well. Tom Vernon on the show tonight. Tom, we'll introduce in greater detail later, but Tom makes lo-fi house music. Music's a little hot. Let me cut that. And we are incredibly excited to have another one of our friends from across the pond that makes vaporwave adjacent music, but is just a little outside of our scene on Hot Takes for Season 5, Episode 8. So, welcome everybody, whether you be a regular, a new chatter, or even a mod. I want to thank each and every one of you that I see in chat for tuning in live tonight. And as a reminder, hold all questions for the last half hour. That's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We had some commands down at the bottom that y'all can use to pop up certain links and functions during the broadcast, and any emojis that you post end up on the screen. So that's fun. Fill that chat up with emojis. We're going to have some ground rules that I typically go over, and that's that we don't do any sort of racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, or xenophobia on Hot Takes. Keep it kind in the chat, please. Punching up is encouraged, but please punch above your weight class. No punching down on Hot Takes. We like the hot, strong opinions and the controversial takes, so keep those coming, but keep it kind in chat, please. And, of course, if there's anything where the music's too hot, you can't hear Paul, Tom's screaming, let us know. We will adjust the audio levels as needed. So please let me know in chat. And keep the conversations flowing, guys. This is about the community. So, again, thanks for being here. If you like Hot Takes, consider posting a link, a tweet, a recommendation, an Insta post with a link, and invite your friends to go ahead and tune in for anytime in the next 2 hours. We're going to start tonight's episode off with some recommendations courtesy of me. And then we're going to hear a hot take from Paul, and we're going to introduce our guest and get on into it. So, going to start tonight by recommending a couple things that I found recently that I think you might like. Now, admittedly, even if you crate dig every day, if you're finding new music every day, sometimes you have dry spells. I've had a little bit of those. One of those recently. Downloaded some albums by some artists that I really thought I liked. Didn't really care for the material. Ended up not really being crazy about some stuff that I got, so I won't say who, but at the end of the day, sometimes you think you were into something, and then you get the album, you pay for the album, and it's just not for you, but that's okay. Whatever. I want to start tonight by recommending something. It's a little outside the realm of what our listeners typically are into, and I'm going to move it kind of inwards as the night progresses. So I want to start by recommending an ambient album, kind of an experimental electronic album that I downloaded just the other day by an artist called Malibu. And the album is called Vanities. So I'm going to post a link. Anyone who's listened to Hot Takes or been in the server knows Young SHIRO listens to a lot of weird ambient music, stuff that's just kind of experimental. Oh, cool. We got someone in chat who's heard it. Just stuff that's not super radio friendly, but not like noise or anything. It's been on your sleep playlist. I love that. The person who so there you go. It's sleepy music. Vanities by Malibu is an incredibly sorrowful album. It's very it's incredibly analog. There's a lot of cello and guitar, and very, very vocal. Either it's the woman herself, Malibu. I don't recall her actual name. I think it's Italian. Or guests. It's a very vocal ambient music, and it's just very, very like a yearning, like a dark yearning kind of morose sound. Very, very reminiscent of some of that Gulch ambient stuff that I've been trying to put people on lately. But if you listen to it, or if you're familiar with that music, you may or may not know she also produces under the name DJ Lost Boy. But if you like ambient music at all, or you like weird experimental electronic, check out Malibu's Vanities. Moving right along to something a little more up y'all's alley, I am frightfully behind on Stratford Court's discography. If you don't know who Stratford Court is, you know who Hotel Pools is? It's the label that hosts Hotel Pools. Andrew Walker has been releasing chill synth and future funk and all kinds of other music kind of in that realm for probably like a decade, maybe even longer. And I finally got around to downloading the Vespera compilation by Stratford Court. And it features a lot of artists and names that you may like Unfound, Flavia Labar, Hotel Pools, Vic, and other people who just really have turned that more chill kind of synthwave music, or that less like vocal and like guitar-based chillwave music, and kind of turned it into a thing. And though a lot of times a lot of those tracks can sound kind of similar, there are a lot of standouts on Vespera, and I definitely recommend, especially if you're like me, I love compilations because I can kind of like dip my feet in lots of different little, like I get to hear a sample of 13 different albums, essentially. Check that out, especially if you like synthwave music, chill wave music. If you've listened to Home Resonance once or Tycho, check that compilation out. Now, my last recommendation is right up y'all's alley, because though I downloaded some albums that really did not hit, one thing that did hit for me was the last Neon Nights. If you guys are not tuning in to Luxury Elite's Neon Nights, you're making a mistake. It's every Tuesday. It's every other Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. And God bless Lux, because she is probably the only, no, not the only, but one of the only, like, muses still in my life that keeps me tethered to the newest Vaporwave releases. I love Vaporwave. I came up with Vaporwave, but I've kind of been getting my feet wet with other scenes. And so as a result, I'm not as plugged in as I would like to be, which is embarrassing to admit, but it's just the truth. And so God bless Luxury Elite for putting me on the latest Neon Nights. There were tracks that were just terrific, and I'm going to link to that because it's not an album. You can't buy it, but you can't download it, but you can check out the track list. Really liked the track she played by 486 Paradise, Generaction X Music, King Quartz, Mom and Dad's Computer, and Nothing. Lots of standout tracks in the last Neon Nights, and I'm gonna wrap it up. But if you want to find if you want to follow people who know what's going on in the Vaporwave scene, besides Bort Media, who's in chat right now, check out Luxury Elite's Neon Nights. And that's enough for me. Let's hear from Paul about what is on his mind tonight.
Right, so I feel like every time I do it, I'll be like, okay, it's just gonna take a second. But this one's gonna take a second. It's like a take outside of a take, because I was reading, and apologies to anyone who isn't in the server. If you aren't in the server, please join our Hot Takes community where we talk shit about blah, blah, blah all the fucking time. It's a great time. And the other day, people were talking shit about shit all the fucking time. And one of the things that actually was being talked shit about by the homie, Frozen Babylon, who I prefer to call Robert Babylones. But he was, he made the comment, and he's not wrong. He was saying, like, it's called Hot Takes, but all the takes are common sense takes. I am paraphrasing and perhaps even being reductive. But, he was essentially saying, like, this is stuff people know, you jackasses. And he's not wrong. And I guess, like, that's kind of the shade that nobody wants to throw when we're saying, like, hey, guys, you know what? It'd be better if you supported your homies. And gosh, you guys, it'd be really cool if when you were at a show, you didn't just take a shit all over everything and act like nobody else was there and everything's a stadium built around yourself. Because, like, nobody wants to say, like, don't, bro, you gotta be a certain way. Nobody wants to fucking act like, we know everything and you're a jackass, or talk from that kind of, like, pulpit position. But, like, at the end of the day, like, all of these common courtesies that everyone's been addressing and the things that we've been encountering in the scene, they're toxic problems. They're scene killing problems. They're event killing problems. And, if I guess it's like it gets down to that sort of bottom sad line about all of it, is that if in this scene people can't find the common courtesy to not only treat each other decently, but to truly be there to support each other and to be part of a scene and be part of what is happening with the fucking music that they're doing and be engaged with one another, which we all apologize because we can't keep up with everything, and that's fucking real. That's, that nobody wants to tell anybody like, oh, you better go listen to 10 new vaporwave releases a week or you're a shithead. Like nobody wants to fucking say any of that, but we do always sort of stare down this new thing where as music eats itself, no one gives a shit, and the art forms that we love, presumably to all be together in these scenes, as they are facing nothing but pressure from the outside to just not exist anymore. What is the incentive? What is the incentive to do music? And you get to that point where if everyone's just sort of main character blasting out into the universe and only playing a show for their own benefit and all of those other fucking things, if all of that happens, then aren't we just sort of this embarrassingly large vanity publishing industry? And isn't that sort of like lame? And so that's the secret hot take, I think, behind all of it. And I think, Robert Babylones is right. We are fucking saying common sense shit all the time. And maybe we should be talking shit, but I don't think in this time, I don't really want to take shots at artists, obviously, yeah, let's call out when someone is a fucking violent piece of shit or something like that. But, I don't want to take shot at artists. I want to boost the other artists. I want to make sure that art can still survive this fucking hellscape that we are in. And that's our shit as artists, is to be here and to survive what is going on around us now and to do something, positive for each other. So it has been a little bit common sense and Pollyanna, and we're sorry, I guess, a little bit, but also not at all. So, yeah, that's my hot take.
Oh, man. The voice of positivity. Honestly, man, I think a lot of us need that right now, considering gestures widely. You gotta be there for community, Very well said. Well, let's see what our guest has to say about that. So, guys, listen, if you are a fan of lo-fi house music, if you like sound textures, if you like synth palettes, if you listen to music because of the way it tickles your brain, but you like to dance at the same time, you might like Tom Vernon. If you're a fan of Baltra, Mall Grab, Ross from Friends, DJ Sabrina the Teenage DJ, Cult Member, I could go on, and you haven't heard of Tom Vernon, boy, am I excited to put you on. I've been a fan for a minute. He's a delightful fella. He makes some of the most charmingly melodic, just emotive, emotionally charged, danceable house music that I've ever heard. And I'm immensely excited for you guys to get to meet him. And the poor guy is in Great Britain, so it's 12:15 a.m. for him right now. So without further ado, I want to bring on our illustrious guest. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Tom.
Hello.
Welcome to Hot Takes, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we are honored. Thank you for agreeing to be here. We can't wait to dig into what you're into, what you like and what you don't like. But first, I want to see, what do you think about what Luxury Noise said about being there for the community? Any thoughts?
God, there was a lot to take in. I think
It was.
I think it wasn't just one hot take. It was maybe 5 or 6 in one go.
Somebody's been holding it in. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, but being there for community, I definitely think. I mean, it's a given. It's important. It's especially in these small scenes and these sort of underground scenes that we're in, supporting the community and sort of putting the community first above yourself is so important. And these communities only really survive if the people in it do that. Well, the majority of people do that. The ones that fail, the ones that implode, are the ones that are full of people that don't do that. And so, yeah, that's probably what I would say. There's some more points though, aside from just that. A few hotter ones that might need
some context.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've hit over the past few months. We've covered a lot of stuff about just like shows being good about submitting for online things and like all kinds of things like that. And it really has been. It has been very much just like, like the homie from Robert Babylonis is 1000% right when it's like, you guys are just saying common sense every week. It's like, yeah,
How to Be a
yeah.
Good Neighbor by Frozen Babylon. Yeah. Shout out that guy. Man, at the end of the day, I guess being that you are in a scene that is very similar to our scene, but just kind of just a little bit adjacent. What I'm curious about, since your music, and I know I had like a very like wordy, verbose introduction to how I would best describe the music that you make. What is it about? What sound grabs you, or like what is it that makes music beautiful to you?
God. For me, I would say music to me, or what's important in music, is sort of transporting the listener to a place. And it can be through many different ways. My favorite way is through field recordings. I love field recordings.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Probably heard a lot in my tracks, and a lot of the music I listen to also has field recordings in them. Some of the stuff I listen to is literally just pure field recordings. Because I just love sort of just you being inserted directly into a place. Sort of you force the listener, like you're here now. And on top of that, using pads, synths, and sort of sound design to transport the listener as well. Heavy reverb, lots of delay, big open spaces, those kinds of things. And of course, like emotional chord progressions and melody, and there's so many different ways you can do it. But yeah, that'd probably be.
It's kind of funny. The last guest that we had on right before you was a synthwave artist, like the Outrun neon, like know what I'm talking about. Watches Stranger Things once type beat. Well, he made music before Stranger Things, but he said the same thing. Like I love. Well, he didn't say field recordings, but he said like spoken word passages. Like he would use a lot of like recordings of actual like news snippets from the 80s. Like a Ronald Reagan speech, or like an advertisement for a compact disc. Oh, this is a new technology. It's called the CD, stuff like that. And he liked. Yeah. We talked literally about the same thing, about how we loved spoken word in music, because it's not like lyrics or a song, but like it puts you where the composer wants you to be. So I think that's hella cool.
So like, I was originally going to ask you about how you can, because a lot of times I'll be listening to your stuff, and I feel like personally I jump really fast, and I'm like, let's go to the next part, let's go. And you have a lot of patience to unfold, and it's always warranted. And I was originally going to ask you, like, oh, where does that come from? Like, what defines your patience? But now I'm like, is that sort of the field recording mindset at work in your melodic?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So in my tracks, like I said, I like to sort of transport the listener into a space, and in the real world, you don't teleport around. You're kind of like you're in one place. You might go to a slightly different place nearby that's kind of similar. You could be moving through a space, that kind of thing. So like my tracks, I like to kind of evolve them over time, or there's no sudden changes in energy, no sudden changes in the atmosphere. And yeah, I guess that's probably why. Yeah.
Where did the field recording stuff come from? How did that get started for you?
Oh, there's loads of different.
Great question.
Loads of different sources. So when I first started, I was kind of grabbing them from just random places, from YouTube, from SoundCloud, from wherever. Sometimes my phone. that was like the early days of my productions, like before my major releases and stuff. Some of the tracks on Amber Fade EP would have been some of those. But then
Hard
later
EP,
on,
by the way.
Yeah.
Super hard album.
yeah. But then later on, I bought myself a little Zoom H1N, you know, one of these little mini Zoom field recorders, and I went on a trip to Japan, and I just recorded absolutely everything that I could, that I came across, you know. So trains, birds, just people walking in the street. I'd go to a temple and just like record the background sound of the monks chanting, just whatever. And I just built up this massive bank, and then when I got home, I sat down and I just started making tunes with them. Usually I would start with the field recording, actually.
Wow.
Just load it straight into my to my project, and then build up the track from there. So it wasn't an afterthought. I wouldn't just slap it on anything. I would usually sort of like try to build a track around that recording and sort of how it made me feel. And that's most of my tracks on Minobu EP, and the more recent one, I Try EP. If you hear any field recordings there, they'll be from those. So yeah.
I immediately have a bunch of questions. I'm going to shut up because I think I'm breaking Isaac's.
No, you're good. I will go ahead and get a question in, but please get them all out. What was your first experience that you can remember with music where you were like, okay, this is my thing. Like this is important. This has moved me.
Okay, like that one. Probably the first time I sort of heard a track that sort of made me go like, wow, like emotionally, internally, that kind of led to, I guess, my style, was, well, there was an album by Dusky. I don't know if you've heard of Dusky. They're a house duo from the UK.
Okay.
They're fairly large in deep house. They're
Love
doing like
deep
a lot of
house.
garage now, but they were part of the 2010s UK house revival, and they put out an album called Outer. I think it was their second or third album, but and the album covers like a picture of a sort of artist's interpretation of the earth, and
Nice.
some of the tracks in that album, they have this sort of like grooving deep house sort of, you know, donk 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 type beat, but then in the middle section they'll strip it right back. They'll get the strings going, just playing this kind of atmospheric pad in the background, like nothing playing, just the strings, and it really sort of, you know, makes you feel like you're floating in space,
With like
looking down
tons
at
of
the
reverb,
earth.
right?
Tons of drenched in
Tons
reverb,
of like
and
echo, yeah.
that to me was like made me sort of introduced me what house could be, fused with sort of these ambient textures, and I just loved it. And then since then, that point, I sort of tried to emulate that in my own sort of way. So yeah.
Hell yeah. 2010s. Okay. Dusky. I'm gonna have to check that out. Kind of sounds like you probably appreciated like stuff like Aerovane or like Scuba, like stuff like that. Kind of.
Oh
sounds
yeah,
kinda
Scuba.
similar.
Yeah, I know Scuba.
Yeah. I love that era.
When did you start? Like, was Minobu like? Where did it all start? When did you start making and releasing?
Oh god. Because okay, making. I don't know when you can sort of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Let's
start.
hear
We
the
can start at
old
the most rudimentary.
I've been making for pretty much as long as I have memories, pretty much. Like I remember when I was in primary school, this group came in. I don't know who they were. I can't remember their name, but they came into the primary school, and they sort of like composed a track and then like recorded the whole school like singing as a choir, and like one of the talks they were giving, sort of like showing us how they were doing it all, they said, "Oh, this is our sound guy here. He's using Logic. If you guys want to like, you know, get into music production yourself, you can try GarageBand." And oh god, I must have been like, how old? It must have been like 10 or something. And so I went back home. I installed GarageBand on the family Mac, and that's how I got started. Just dragging loops in from the loop library and sort of, you know, building tracks like that. And god, I must have been doing that for like good like 3-4 years until my parents got me Logic for my birthday.
Ooh, shout out mom and dad.
Yeah, shout out mom and dad. Yeah. And yeah, I was on Logic for the longest time, pretty much completely self-taught. Not even any like YouTube tutorials or anything, just completely self-taught for a good like 5 years. And then fast forward to A levels. That's senior high for the Americans. And I did a music tech course when I was like 17, 18. So, and that was like your standard like basics of production, like this is what a compressor is, this is what EQ is, here's how to properly, you know, mic up a vocalist, a guitar amp, a drum set, whatever, all those basics covered in there. And doing that course made me realize how crap I was at production and how horrible I'd been doing it for the last 7 years of my life. But after that, in fact, during that course was when I was making some of the earlier tracks on Amber Fade EP. So, Amber
No
Fade,
way.
that would have been This Moment I Feel. Disappear came a bit later. A bunch
You made
of the other ones.
Disappear in high school?
Yeah, like near the end of high school. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's like a. I'm sorry. I feel like that's like a magnum opus track. I love that track.
Really?
I really
Yes.
like Disappear a lot too.
Yes, I
thanks.
literally played it at the end of a DJ set in Brooklyn last year. It's just a perfect closer track. You made that in high school. Wow.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. In fact, that was one of my more recent tracks. So the ones that sound really crunchy, really lo-fi were doing my earlier ones, and those
Like,
are the ones
I think it's
made
called
sort of
Lifted.
at the start.
I feel like that's what it's called.
Tilted.
Tilted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Top
the
5
one.
Young Shiro moments. Tilted. Very very crunchy sounding, and I love it.
Super crunchy, yeah. So yeah, and after I did that course, pretty much that was the point where I was making sort of tracks that I was comfortable with. Like, okay, this sounds good. This is like complete. This is releasable, and like from that point on, it's been releasable stuff. So yeah.
That's super cool, man. So, do you ever, or not do you, but have you ever dabbled with, like, well, let me back up. Do you prefer to use hardware, or do you pretty much make it all in a DAW? Like, what's your mix there?
Okay, so it's been a mix over the years. So
I see. Okay.
while I was at the end of high school, I was using a mix of hardware, some stuff that I saved up,
Nice.
you know, working and being able to afford, like getting I had a little Behringer Model D, you know, the budget Model D. That was quite cool. I had a Waldorf Blofeld for pads. So some of the pads on my earlier tracks, I used that thing for. I had a TRA-S. That again was a birthday present. So again, shout out mom and dad.
Wow, yeah, that's a good one.
And yeah, that thing was, oh man, I loved that thing. It was so cool. It was the most awesome thing ever. And a lot of my earlier tracks I made using that. It's just so cool to just sort of like punch out a rhythm like super quick and you know, change it and modify it on the fly. And also, as a response to getting all that hardware, I also transitioned to Ableton, because Ableton's so much better with like live hardware and stuff. So it was kind of awkward because I was learning how to use Logic, but also learning how to use Ableton at the same time. So like I was doing my course in Logic, Ableton, whatever. I managed to transition fine. And yeah, so I was using all that stuff. But then I went to university, and so I'm from Jersey, which is a little island.
Yeah,
off the
yeah.
coast of France, and so my home was in Jersey, but I went to university in Swansea, and so I'd basically be going back and forth all the time. It's literally like a 40-minute flight.
Oh, that's not bad.
And as a result, I had all my hardware at home in Jersey. I didn't have space for it at uni because, you know, your typical uni accommodation, there's no space over there. So I made the decision, and also uni budgets as well, I made the decision to kind of sell everything because I'd gotten used to using more software synths, software plugins and stuff like that. And so the more recent, cleaner sounding stuff you hear on Minobu EP,
Yeah.
that's me transitioning over to that sort of like software synths and stuff like that. And it's been that way for a very long time, since university, since I left. But very, very recently, I was like, oh, I'm kind of missing that kind of hands-on, you know, twisting the knobs sort of stuff. But I also had some gripes with the TR-8S and how you couldn't properly like integrate fully with Ableton. You'd have to do this whole like record
Oh, it
first
pissed
and
me
then
off
loop
a lot.
dynamic and stuff like that. And then you've got to set up a template for all your gear, and then sometimes it doesn't work correctly and the MIDI's on the wrong channel and blah, 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 blah. So I decided to purchase one of these things. I've been using it for the past week.
Hard.
Ableton Move. And it's so cool. It fills the TR-8S void in my heart, but it also has a lot more. So yeah, that's sort of my spread of hardware and software over the years. So.
I yield my time to Paul Nunn, who is definitely more of the hardware man than I.
Oh, well, you know, what software synths are you using? What are your favorites?
Honestly, right now, mostly if I'm using a software synth, if I any plugins, I only use free plugins. I don't have any paid plugins at all. So a lot of the Tau plugins I like to use. There's Tau Bassline, the really old one that's modeled after the SH101. I actually used that for the acid line on Disappear, not an actual 303. I used that thing, and yeah, it's pretty much that. I like using Operator as well to like do my really basic synths and stuff. I don't really go too deep into like synthesis and stuff. I just keep it simple with subtractive synthesis. So I don't need a lot. Sort of kind of emulating that sort of 90s sort of sound where producers weren't really getting too crazy with synthesis and stuff like that. So yeah.
And then so you're pretty much all stock and all free. There's no paid for.
All stock, all free.
That's badass. That'll resonate with a lot of our viewership. Very DIY.
Yeah, no, I sometimes I get like people saying like, oh, oh God, what is it, like Massive and Serum and all this kind of stuff, and like, no, I don't need it. Like, I have everything I need in Ableton.
Sometimes limitations
I don't
are a
need
strength.
these crazy things. Yeah. And I know a lot of people like using Serum and Massive for like the presets and stuff, right? You know, you can find some really good presets on there. But I tend to just make my stuff from scratch. I'm not very good at synthesis, so as a result, all my sounds are very basic. They're not too crazy in the sound design department, but like they don't need to be. So, you know.
It's remarkable. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think even if you are buying stuff, like the simpler the library, the simpler the process, the more you'll get work done. Like I don't know. You can spend 19 hours on a synth patch, and it's a waste of your fucking time because really all the track needed was like a sawtooth with some chorus, you know, and like floof it a little.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like people get to, if you have too many presets to kind of scroll through, you get too used to scrolling through presets, never finding the one you want.
Yep.
When you can just sort of like just open a really basic synth, tweak a few knobs, get halfway there, you know, and then it's a simpler workflow, I think, and yeah, it's the way I like to do it.
It's crazy how limitations seem to really be strengths in many ways. We've had everything from people who come on here that really just kind of use like really just a sound editor, or people that produce on their phone. To people that like we've had like a sound engineer from Stranger Things on here that has like a giant collection of synth, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff. What I want to know is, as a fan of, I assume you're a fan of music. I mean, you make it. Like I would hope that you like what. Yeah. What are you? You know, you told us about 2010's deep house. What were you into like as a kid, like pre-high school? What were you into before you got cool? What were you into?
Oh, God. Okay, wait. So just disclaimer here, because there might be some. I am currently 24, so
unreal.
2010s, I was like, I was 10 years old at 10 in 2010.
We've both got at least 10 years, almost 15 on you.
So, like, to me, like that deep house thing, I was still a kid. But before that, before deep house, I was into like the cringe bro step stuff. Like, oh God, I don't want to think about it. Like, you know, Skrillex and K-Drew and oh my God, like, it makes me cringe thinking about it.
It's okay. We have a mod that's still into that stuff.
Oh God. But yeah, like my sort of like pipeline as a kid when I was like had access to like the internet on an iPod was I started with like this dubstep stuff, and then through dubstep I found like bass house, and then bass house sort of evolved into tech house, and then tech house brought me to deep house, and then deep house brought me to sort of outsider lo-fi house there. So that's kind of like
nice.
Where it went.
I'm loving the like mapped out evolution there. So you just got more into sound textures and just like less radio
I just kind
friendly.
of just browsed and sort of like I was in that sort of dubstep thing. I was like, oh, I kind of like this sort of like, you know, this housey beat, but I still like those fat wubs. And then like all this tech house stuff, like it's a bit more sort of deeper, a bit more understated, but still very bassy. You know, I kind of like that. And then this tech house that happens to have a bit of, you know, a bit of these emotive.
Oh, it'd be nice if there was some melody here. You know.
Yeah.
Shout out Tech House, no mids at all.
There's
like,
no melody. Yeah.
You turn the mid down, and you're like, oh wow, it sounds exactly the same.
Where is it? There's nothing there. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I was into when I was younger.
Love it.
So my favorite thing about your records is that the longest one is 6 tracks. Is that a conscious choice? Like, are you? It's like you hit 30 minutes pretty regularly. And are you consciously making like time decisions with these, or is it material available? What's your operation with record construction?
Well, it's pretty much just
Thank
been
you
like
for asking that.
targeting. It's been targeting like the sort of LP format because Shall Not Fade they do vinyl releases. So you got to kind of hit that. They're like 15-minute per side sort of benchmark. For Amber Fade was different to the other two because Minobu and I released them, or sort of I built up that track list knowing that it was going to be on a record and sort of arranged them accordingly. But Amber Fade was sort of just like I got an email from one of the main dudes, Kieran at Shall Not Fade, and he messaged me like, yo, I love Amber Fade, like the track, because I actually self-released it before it got that release in like 2019. I love it. Can we release it? And I was like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's
Shall Not Fade we're talking about here. This is nuts. And so I like, he was like, maybe we can do Amber Fade and like a bunch of new tracks. But then I said, I've got more content only on my SoundCloud that I've never released. And it's sort of from the same era that I made that track. How about I just sort of like pick and choose my favorite ones, bundle them all together, and then that's going to be Amber Fade EP. And so we sort of, you know, we picked 5 more of my favorites and chucked them on there, and that was Amber Fade EP. So yeah.
Makes sense.
And that's pretty much. You go ahead, Isaac. I keep.
Oh,
I'm
just saying it makes sense the you wanted to have it fit on a vinyl. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Exactly.
Do you have double vinyl ambition? Like, what's where yeah.
Well, I don't
Or
know.
like, do
I
you
don't know
want to
about that
release
one.
do you want to release like a
Ooh.
long album, like 30-minute plus?
God.
You know what I mean?
It would be awesome, but like I don't think I have it in me to do that many tracks in one go. Like I do this as a hobby still, like in my free time. Like not even in my free. I have like 3 other hobbies as well that I actively do.
Hard.
So it's like it's not something that takes up all my time. So I can't like, if I wanted to like build up a whole like 12 track double LP. God, I think it would take me like 2-3 years or something. Yeah,
Dude,
it would take a while.
I'm so glad Paul asked that question, because one of the things that is common in the like outsider house scene is very short releases, either EPs, mini albums, or like you said, stuff that's meant to fit on vinyl, right? I think really the only like long form albums have been like Baltra, Ross from Friends, DJ Seinfeld. We're not going to talk about DJ Sabrina the Teenage DJ, because damn, cut the fat. But anyways, let me stop being a hater. But anyways,
Yeah.
as an old guy, trademark symbol, old guy, I'm used to like long albums and lots of content, and sometimes when I find an artist that has like a less than 30-minute release, I'm just like, I want more. So like, not a question, just a comment. Like, great job keeping people wanting more and curating your best content.
I mean, I feel like actually a lot of those like earlier albums, like you said, like Ross from Friends, DJ Seinfeld. Well, I know DJ Seinfeld for a fact. DJ Boring, Baltra. I feel like, I don't know for sure, but I feel like a lot of those might have been similar to like my Amber Fade EP, where they would have had like a lot of releases on SoundCloud or something. They just like put themselves out there without actually, having a full album in mind, and then like someone's just gone to them and be like, let's just release this all in bulk in one go, and then that's the album, and they just happen to have loads of it. So yeah, not so different, I think, but
It's okay. We'll cast all the aspersions. You don't have to. What is it like? We talked a little bit about it before the show started. You've performed live at least a handful of times. What does that live performance look like for you? What do you use on stage? Is it just CDJs? Do you bring, additional equipment? What do you usually play? Do you like it? Like, talk to us about you performing live.
So yeah, when I perform live, it's usually just a DJ set on CDJs.
Okay, CDJs, gotcha.
Yeah, but like,
super fair.
But yeah, I don't really do the whole like live hardware stuff. Well, 'cause obviously right now I have no hardware, so like, what can I do? But like, I'd never really like sort of had that sort of like live hardware only mindset. I'd always sort of like had, done music with a DAW primarily, so that doesn't really appeal to me. But like, for me, DJing, or what I love about DJing, is sort of like just showing people cool music,
Yep.
like all the cool music that I love, and like, because I love it, and maybe the people coming to see me like my music, they'll probably like what I love as well, but they might not have heard the stuff that I love, so I can just be like, here's some of this music, and then watching the people dance and react to the music that I love. I think it's just like, it's such a
high, dude.
It's so awesome. Like, it's just such a cool feeling. Yeah, that would be it. And I'm usually just playing. Yeah, I might throw in my track, once or twice here and there. But like, I'm not showcasing my music when I DJ. I'm showcasing the stuff that I like. So deep house, lo-fi house, bit of deep techno. Sometimes I've ventured into that sort of like ambient jungle sort of area,
Nice.
Deep dub as well, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's what DJing is for me.
shit. I spaced out listening to that question, thinking about DJing stuff. How I guess what are you doing? Like how much live stuff is coming up? Anything exciting this year?
Well, so like in-person stuff, I've got nothing planned.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're kind of hard to come by for me. Like every so often, I get like a lead somewhere. Sometimes it comes through, sometimes it falls apart. You know, I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with how it goes.
Yeah.
you
Oh
know?
yeah. Venues are the
so-
worst.
Yeah. So yeah, right now nothing. But if I mentioned to you earlier, like there's this group. I don't know if anyone knows what VR chat is, but
Yeah.
so
VR chat.
they're yeah, VR chat. Yeah.
Okay.
So I DJ with them sometimes. Basically, they're a VR chat sort of scene, based in US East, and they get me to do a set like a few times a year, something like that. They're like, "Hey Tom, you want to come do a set at this event that we're doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Do you do it live or is it pre-recorded?
Oh, live. Yeah, 100% live.
So
yeah.
do you have like a setup with like a green screen or
No,
like
no.
something special to where they see you in VR?
No, so how it works is, so I have a headset on, I have my full body trackers on, so my avatar
Whoa,
moves with me,
what?
all that kind of stuff. And then I have my decks in front of me, and the headset I have it's Quest 3. It has cameras on
Okay.
the front, and you can set it up so you can overlay the real world in VR. And then there's a pair of virtual decks in the world in virtual reality in VR chat, and you basically like try and line up the real life ones with the ones in VR chat, so that when you touch the ones in real life, it kind of looks like you're touching the ones in VR. And then you basically send a live stream of my decks into OBS, into VR chat of the music. And so a delay of like 3 seconds, like if I
was gonna say, I
Just
wonder
a
how much you
filter.
pay for your internet service provider, but that sounds badass.
it's not that much actually. But yeah, and so the people basically what it equates to is people in VR can basically watch someone DJ in real time, and obviously the decks aren't going to match up one to one, but you can kind of see when someone's scrubbing, when someone's twisting a
Yeah.
filter, that kind of thing, and
that's
you
hard.
It's awesome. And the cool thing is if you're in VR, you can see everyone in front of you, and they're all in VR with
That's a
their full body
good
tracking
point.
and stuff, so they're all
Damn.
dancing and stuff like that as
That's
well.
high tech,
So,
bro. Our
yeah,
scene
it's
does
awesome.
stuff like that. Like this label that's really prominent called 100% Electronica had like a completely rendered like world for a live stream event, but at the end of the day, it was still really just like a video inserted into a rendered world. It was not as immersive. It was still super cool, but not as immersive. They called it Virtual Utopia. Thanks, Roche Corp.
Yeah, I think I've seen a bit
That's
of that. Yeah,
that's next level.
yeah, it's
Boy, am I
it's
glad you
awesome.
asked that question.
It is like the most awesome thing I think that I've come across in the last couple of years. Like, and because it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, because it's online and in this like, you can get people from all around the world come and see and watch. All these like house music lovers can come and see me play, and they're into it, and
Yeah.
and I can play
That's
the
rad,
stuff
yeah.
that I love, whatever, and they'll love it. It's not like
Yep.
going and DJing at your local bar and all the like the randoms turn up and say, "What is this? Turn off
Yeah.
the house music. Can you play
Yeah.
DJs, whatever?" Yeah.
That's
awesome.
cool, man. A lot of parallels between that and kind of what we do in the vaporwave scene. But that's badass. That's something to aspire to. I don't know if we're quite there technologically yet, but something to aspire to. Do you play any like analog, like classical instruments? Any piano, guitar, drums, etc.?
Yeah, so when I was younger, my parents put me through the whole learning piano pipeline. My mum's Vietnamese,
nice.
Classic Asian parenting. You must learn piano.
That's hilarious.
But honestly, I'm super thankful that that they did, because I only got to like grade 2 or something, but like it built up the foundation of my music sort of theory knowledge, and without it I would be nowhere. So and after grade 2 piano, I sort of didn't really want to play anymore, but my parents were like, oh, you should still play a musical instrument and we'll support you, you know, it's just good to play one. And so I picked the drums, and
Awesome.
I played the drums for the longest time. I think I ended up going through like several grades. I didn't hit grade 8, which is like the max. I think I got like a merit in grade 6. I can't remember if I hit 7 or not, but yeah, no, drums was like my main instrument for the longest time, before I like properly got into production. In fact, while I was in high school producing Amber Fade, I was still actively playing the drums as well with some of my friends in a little sort of trio that we sort of that we came up with.
It's kind of funny because like house music, love it as much as I do. It's very simple. It's just 4 on the floor, boom, 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 boom. You know, that's it. So I don't presume to know your mindset, because I'm actually not an artist at all, but I feel like maybe like that was a break from all of the complexities and the syncopation of actual drums.
Oh no, I don't know. I would say maybe you're not quite right there, because for me, house music really gets deep in the weeds of rhythm. Like, it's what makes you move
That's
to a
for
house
sure
track
true.
is the rhythm. And yeah, you do have the kick going boom, 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 and then you have the clap, you know, 2 and 4. But then hi-hats, drums, toms, snares, whatever, like you get some, you know, you can get these swung beats with these crazy, you know, super heavy swings and these ghost notes sort of placed in certain places and all this kind of stuff. You can get real intricate with rhythm. And I think actually playing the drums has helped me a lot to make sort of, you know, moving drums and stuff, because I love a good house beat with a really sort of, you know, grooving drums and stuff. So
That tracks. Perhaps an oversimplification on my part.
I mean, yeah, it can be simple with house, but it can also be very complex as well, is what I'd say.
Well
So,
said.
yeah.
In construction, do you work on the grid very much, or do you try to avoid quantization? Do you spend a lot of time dragging out? Like, what's your swing approach as far as that shit goes?
It's a mix. So yeah, usually like kick is obviously, it's got to be straight quantized for me. But like aside from that, everything else is pretty much off the grid in one way or another. So claps, I usually put them a little bit earlier than the kick, just ever so
Nice.
slightly, so they can sort of cut through before the
I've
the
noticed
kick.
that actually.
Yeah, on some of the
mixing
earlier lo-fi
your
house
tracks live, I've noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to talk to Monolithic. That guy doesn't use a grid at all.
I mean,
'Cause,
I do
damn,
talk to him
I'm-
actually. So
Yeah. You need to talk to that, because I'm always moving the platters like, oh my god, you know.
yeah, no, he takes it to the next level, I think. Yeah, and I love his stuff so much. But yeah, what another thing I like to do is with swing, not using one swing for the whole track. You can use slightly different swings for different instruments, sort of varying effect, sort of adds sort of human element. You know, not everyone's going to be doing the same swing in a band. You know, in their mind they're going to be swung, but to what extent? You know, so that, and also just moving things, nudging things off the grid, be that playing it in manually with some drum pads, or maybe putting them in and then moving them ever so slightly, just, you know, varying them around using the humanize function in Ableton, that kind of thing. Yeah, no, I make sure that my drums are not on the grid 100%, because I think it's boring. It's boring if everything's quantized, you know. So
Hilarious.
That's do you where? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No. All I had to say was that's hilarious.
Do you have like your go-to samples, or is it a weekly rummage when you're recording? Like,
I have like a big sample folder that I've sort of like got some stuff that people have sent me, some of my own samples, some stuff I've pinched from YouTube, whatever. Just stuff that I sort of have built up over the years, and I usually just go to there, and it's got all sorts of stuff in it. But usually my main, you probably heard it in a lot of my tracks, I'll go for the bog standard 909 as sort of like the base of my drums, and then I'll usually build it up from there. So I always go for a 909 style kick and clap, and I love a good open hi-hat 909 as well, but recently I think I need to sort of stay away from it because I'm using a bit too much recently. So, but yeah, on top of the 909 drums, I like to sort of layer sort of drum kits more, sort of acoustic kits on top. There's I'm sure you know what Spitfire Labs is, if you know the whole free stuff, and they've got some really good sounding acoustic sounding drums. And I love using those to sort of overlay like a riff on top, sounding like a human playing over the top of the 909s.
That really comes through, because that would be probably the biggest question I have about your drums when I'm hearing them is like, it's 909, but it's dusty. There's some dust in
it's
there.
It's battered sounding. Damn. Y'all in the chat, listen. If you produce, listen. You mentioned YouTube. What's your favorite YouTube video?
YouTube video? What, of all time?
Sure.
Oh god.
I'm about to start shooting from the hip in here.
Oh god. I'm a big YouTube watcher. I'm not gonna lie, I watch a lot of YouTube.
Perfect.
So that's a very hard question.
The YouTube industrial complex. Let's do it.
I've got 10,000 YouTube things out. Okay, I've got a playlist of my favorite music related stuff.
Oh,
so
bro, please link that.
Let me go through here. I've got a lot of drumming stuff on here.
They're asking about what your YouTube algorithm is in chat.
Oh god, dude, my YouTube algorithm is like. Well, okay. First, I'll touch on the favorite YouTube thing. I've got some favorite videos from here from Spin Scott. He does like live jungle with an MPC only, unquantized. He just plays it, and it's like the craziest thing ever.
That's right awesome. Up our scene's alley.
Star Power Drummer. He went viral like last year or something. He's a drummer that drums to electronic music, and he tweaks his kit to make it sound like it's like sampled, but it's not. So if he's playing like ambient jungle, for example, he'll have like 3 different snares, each one tuned like low, mid, high pitch, so it can sound like he's playing a different sample that's pitched up, but he's not. He's just playing a different snare. That kind of thing. Like, he's awesome.
Hell yeah.
One more. There's a guy called Lars Lucy 8 Legions who has this crazy like computer mechanical setup that he's programmed his computer to like press loads of buttons and keyboards and stuff, and basically makes a track, and there's an anime girl in the center of it that like he kind of frames like it's the girl playing it, but it's not. It's the computer.
Oh yeah, like motion capture and all that. Yeah.
Kind of, but not really. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, I got you.
It's just really cool. Yeah.
Damn, thanks for putting us on. Is your algorithm super cool, or is it like busted as hell?
It's pretty much covers all my hobbies. So we've got gaming, we've got cars, we've got tech, we've got graphics cards, we got what else we got?
I think we have to
some
jump
music
to the
stuff.
gaming.
Yep. So Paul and I both game. I'm not a gamer, but you know.
Okay. Yeah.
We're not sweaty, but we do sweat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit of a gamer myself.
What? All right. Let's. What kind of gamer are you?
God, I'd say I fit into camps.
Okay.
The competitive esport gamer, but also the like single player sort of like chill, good story, cinematic experience gamer as well. And like I sit very cleanly in both of them. So my main like competitive games that I am very sweaty at, as you guys put it a moment ago. I play a lot of Counter-Strike.
Okay.
Shoot guy, don't die.
Yeah. If you know the ranks, I'm currently face at 8. which 3 elo off face at 9. Anyone watching might know what that means. If you don't worry. If you played
Fiji in the
CS:GO,
chat?
You got my
if you
respect.
played CS:GO, I was Supreme in the Go era.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Damn, so he good.
that's my Counter-Strike. And the second game I sweat at is Osu. So completely different style of game. It's a rhythm game where you click circles.
A rhythm glitch. Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy competitive. Like there's a whole sort of community around that as well. And I'm currently 5-digit. I'm 5,000, 56,000th in the world ranking on that. So not amazing, not great, but not bad either. And it's really funny as well. There's in that game it does your your country rankings as well. So my world ranking's 56k. My country is Jersey, right? And you know Jersey's this tiny island off the coast of France. So there's like 120 people that play in Jersey. So I'm like one of the only people.
Oh
like,
man.
When I come across there, like people come across my page, they click on it and it says country ranking number 4. And it's like, damn, that's crazy. It's like no one plays over here like this.
Jersey. That's unreal.
Yeah.
So
That's
what
how you
is that?
corner a bracket.
Is the what's your chill single player game?
Guys, I've gone through a lot in recent years. My favorite of all time is probably the Nier series. So Nier Automata.
We did
Nier
very briefly
Replicant.
chat about that. Yeah, I really need to
Awesome
get into
games.
that. There's a guy
They
that's
are
pretty
so
big in
awesome.
our scene called Dan Mason, and he's a big fan. So I've needed that is on my list. I did mention that I'm a Final Fantasy fan, so if you talk JRPG to me, I'm definitely on board.
Yeah, no, those are awesome games. Well, I wouldn't say currently. Recently, I finished Silent Hill F. That was awesome.
Okay.
I'm currently playing through Clair Obscur because Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Well, not the Game of the Year, but
Lots
one of
of
them.
people liked it.
Nominee for last year, and yeah, it's been awesome. So I'm playing through that. Yeah, there's some of the past favorites, but Skyrim, Witcher 3. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Resident Evil series. I've played all of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
You like the horror games?
I wouldn't say I'm really big on horror. It's more like if the horror game has like an immersive story,
I see.
then I like it.
I had mentioned on, I think, the last broadcast that I played Parasite Eve, the very old PS1 Parasite Eve, and it was kind of like that.
Yeah. Soma as well. Soma's an awesome horror game. Like, I'm not a fan of these like. You have a lot of like games on Steam which are just it's a horror game, but it's like it's like just jump scares and like that's it. You got to find the 6 rings while a ghost is following you. Like I don't give a shit about that. Like
With the thrill of bad mechanics is always
Yes.
a little added part too. Like,
it's horrible.
I died to a joystick. It's always a good time.
I saw someone in chat says Octopath goes hard. Yeah, I played like half.
Yeah, that was me.
2. Yeah.
Did you like it?
So yeah, no, it's awesome. I really like how you can kind of like, it's easy to like dive in and out of. Like, so
I agree.
I've sort of been playing it for the last like 5 years. Like, so
Nice.
sometimes I just boot it up and I like play through another like arc on one of the characters, and it's so good. And like, when I was younger as well, I played my main Pokemon game. In fact, probably like my first game ever was Pokemon Platinum, and so that kind of like hybrid like 3D 2D sort of like the way Octopath looks, it just it's so nostalgic for me. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm gonna get another
Isaac, you'll
drink.
be
Ask
happy
him
to-
another question. No, this is you.
I was gonna tell you that I started Octopath Traveler. I don't care.
The first
Wait,
one or the
have you
second
started one or two?
I started the second one the other night.
Oh yes. Who
Okay,
did you
so-
start with?
The man in the Far East with the sword and the troubled kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
didn't he start in like a prison?
Samurai dude.
Or Far West.
Oh, no.
Sorry, the Far West. Yeah, where
Yeah, the
he's-
samurai dude.
Yeah. And
Oh,
his
that's
brother's
such a
like a
hard
red.
story.
Having a good time.
I always
Having
end
a
up
good time,
starting
though.
with the healers for whatever reason. It's super hard because you're just a healer. That's like all you do. I don't know why.
No
It's like
damage,
every
yeah.
time I'm like, oh man, again. That's so awesome, bro.
Yeah, so I'll play through it.
Yeah, please
I'll finish
do.
something this year.
Otherwise,
that's
I'm
not
gonna find a
Minecraft.
way to send you angry Octopath gifs.
So go
All right.
get your drink. I'm sorry.
You got the next question.
Yeah. So this is just like I feel like we know our community well enough that we but like what is community like I know you said Monolithic, and both of you guys, it's funny because that's sort of for me was a music during the pandemic times, the lockdown times. I sort of locked in. I want to say like the first track was probably an artist named Simple Syrup sent me a track called that was by a band called No Moon, or an act called No Moon. I wouldn't have it any other way, and I got kind of locked into
I know
that.
that one.
I fucking love that track, and then
track.
I just sort of went down a rabbit hole. I definitely ended up at you and Monolithic, and Amber Fade was a big listen for me on a Hawaii trip I took with a stimulus check, which was
All right, okay.
That's perfect.
Good use of the stimulus. Yeah.
But it was basically, I know my community. We know our community, and we have a pretty diverse one. What is, but to me, I feel like I'm someone who occasionally says I made a lo-fi house track, but I don't feel like I'm in the center of everything. What is that world like? What is there a community? What are we missing?
Terrific question.
Honestly, right now, I've felt fairly removed from the community, and I don't know if other people that were in the original spaces feel the same way, but so when I was doing Amber Fade and a lot of my earlier tracks, actually a lot of the community was in Facebook. And
Same here.
There was this Facebook group called Strictly Lo-Fi, and a lot of the really early lo-fi house releases came from people that were in that group, including Ross from Friends, I think, as well.
Nice.
And there was this whole that was like, if you're into lo-fi house, like you were there. Like that was where it was all happening in that little Facebook group. And then from there, I got to know people. Found people on Instagram, and I feel like a lot of it was also on Instagram as well. But recently, I feel like it's kind of harder for me to connect with the scene. I think partly because a lot of those original lo-fi house guys have moved on, and
They kind of have.
producing different things.
I've noticed that
and
too.
also, yeah, like a lot of the guys don't make lo-fi house anymore. There's a few people keeping it alive. Like I would probably Monolithic, for example, Hush Hush. A few local guys here got Shaolin Cowboy, DJ Houseplants as well.
Nice.
Sound,
Love Shaolin
these
Cowboy
guys,
and DJ Houseplants.
like, but it's very. Wait, where's my? Get that focus. Come
Yeah, mine was doing it earlier.
on. I was so blurry. Stop.
It's okay. I'll just put your still up.
Oh, whatever. Wait, I'll turn it off and on again.
Just kidding.
That should work, right?
Hey.
So yeah. But I also feel like that sort of disconnect is driven by like the enshittification of Instagram. This whole like
Yep.
focusing on reels, focusing on the algorithm rather than the people you follow. And it's like it's so much harder for me to like track the people that I follow now on Instagram. Like that used to be my center of like the latest releases on my favorite artists. I
Yeah.
follow them on Instagram. All my house friends were on there as well. But now it's like it's just there's so much crap in the way, and it's like I don't know. So recently I've felt like a little bit removed from the whole scene, I think, for those two reasons.
Oh.
So well, if there is a scene anymore.
Well, it's been going on for a minute, like I really hope it doesn't end. I think, I don't know about you, Paul, I came to Lo-Fi House almost a decade ago and just I fell in love immediately. I kind of found some gateway drugs through Vaporwave, artists like JD Sanuti, DJ Sabrina, and it kind of, I feel like, peaked in the late 2010s, maybe early 2020s. There's definitely people still making it. But some of the names are changing,
I was much more late, or I wasn't, as with anything else, I wasn't aware of anything as a whole until a lot of stuff that I just kind of like started to really dig into in the pandemic times. Other than that, it was just all music-y, music that I had heard. Like I knew who DJ Seinfeld was, but like that didn't necessarily mean a bunch to me at that point.
Yeah, no, that the whole Facebook era was I would say it probably was at its peak before COVID.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
2017 to 2020 was I would say.
Yeah,
was like
I
the
would
peak of
agree.
that sort of lo-fi
That
house
era when it was like, who could have the silliest name possible?
Yeah.
Like, I remember somebody was called DJ Flash Playa.
Oh yeah, DJ Flash. Wait, you know DJ Flash Player is Hush Hush?
What? I didn't know that. Oh damn. Okay, DJ PayPal, like, you know.
Yeah. So what was it? It was DJ Windows XP renamed himself
DJ
to
Windows,
DJ Windows, probably for Microsoft reasons. But
DJ Bowl Cut, like all kinds of.
Oh
names.
yeah, Bowl Cut. We love Bowl Cut. Yeah.
And yet you chose to use just your given Christian name. Why is that? If you don't mind me asking, or did you ever have any other like monikers you thought of?
God, I had like this really cringe name when I was younger. It was because I really liked Logic a lot, so I called myself I'm Logical, and that was. But then afterwards, like, I came up with that name when I was like 13, and then when I like started making stuff that I was like happy with releasing, I was like, I can't use this name anymore. And I spent a long time like thinking what I should use, but after a while I was just like, why do I need a name? Like, it sort of implies that I've got this kind of persona that I'm like becoming, and
That's a good point.
Sort of masquerading as, which a lot of people do, you know.
Yep.
They sort of have this character that they
it's very common in our
cosplay.
Scene. Nobody goes by their given name in our scene, so it's just interesting, you know.
But the whole idea of like cosplaying someone that I wasn't just didn't really feel right to me. And yeah, I was like, I'm making my music that I like to make, you know. If I start making music that's different to, you know, my taste change or whatever, you know, I'm still me. Does it matter? Like, so I just thought I would just put my name, you know, and you know, people can come along for the journey. I'm not going to separate stuff out into different aliases or whatever. I do have another account which I just post like experiments on, but like it's not like an alias or anything, you know. So yeah,
fair.
That's the reason I would say.
Sorry, I'm still just reeling on all that community stuff. Isaac, you're up. Give me the good question.
Nope, I'm gonna ask him a stupid one. No, actually, this isn't stupid at all. I want to know, like, on the bigger, grander scale of things, what do you think is the biggest problem with music right now, on a macro level?
Music right now?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would play into the whole like shitification thing I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
Where there's this whole like push for reels and algorithms. So you're not seeing stuff that you've created for yourself. You're seeing stuff that the algorithm thinks that you like, you know. So you're just getting a lot of crap in your feed. But then at the same time, because most people are seeing this stuff from the algorithm, people are like posting stuff for the algorithm. So they're posting stuff to get lots of likes and views and stuff, which might not be the stuff that I want to see as well, like that style of content, you know, which is just grabbing your attention rather than like being actually interesting. And I feel like that's just like it's just so far removed from what like music scenes are supposed to be, you know. Like I mean, it sounds like the whole like old man yells at cloud, which also sounds very ironic considering I'm 24. But like, you know, like if things were simpler when I could just follow people on Instagram and I would see their content, you know. I would follow Boltra and then I'd see, he released this EP here, and I could scroll down and then it would reach a point where it would say, you're all caught up now. And I'd be like, okay. I've caught up with all the latest posts.
I remember
and I put my phone down,
to the end of the Facebook
there was
feed.
the end of the internet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like now there's endless content. You just keep scrolling. It's all just crap. It's like, oh man, it just dilutes everything, you know. And especially the genres like lo-fi house and vaporwave that are very like internet based, you know. Like it just kind of dilutes it and kills it, I think. yeah, that's the issue for me.
We
It's the thing I
pride
hate
ourselves
the very
on.
most.
Agreed, man. We pride ourselves on trying to curate man-made mixes and playlists, at least in our scene, as much as we can.
What I can't stand the most is when I see an artist promoting their music by using one of those trending audio clips of another
Oh,
music,
oh
and
no.
so it's like "Brr, brr, 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 check out my shit, blah blah blah. This is a funny meme," and it just makes me want to die. It makes me
God,
want to
Damn.
die for them, because it's
no.
just like I don't know what your music's like, but I know that you're desperate.
Mm,
And it
it's
makes
not
me
good.
feel so weird, and I never can figure out like how much of a shithead I've become. Like, is it me, like, am I broken that I don't want to do that? Like, oh yeah, I did the trending clip thing. I feel so promoty. It
Yeah, no,
just
you
seems
wouldn't
fucking
catch me doing that in a
awful.
million years. Like, oh my god.
One thing I do love
Not a
about
chance.
niche music genres, though, is like the algorithm doesn't know what to do. Like, I was on Bandcamp, I was like, I really like Blank Mass. Let me hear more artists that sound like Blank Mass. And it just gave me a bunch of artists on Sacred Bones Records. Like, come on, bruh. Like, I know how to go on Wikipedia or Discogs.com and find out who the other label mates are. I've been doing this for years. Like, I don't know. Old man yells at cloud type beat.
Yeah. No, I mean, the scene's evolving, and like, that's another thing as well. Is I feel like right now there's this sort of weird resurgence of lo-fi house stuff, but it's only happening on TikTok, because like young kids
A
have
lot
like
of it is very
discovered
like
that sort of like lo-fi
influence
sound,
too.
funk
Yep.
influence, exactly.
Very like
yeah.
drift funk, cowbell 808.
Yeah, drift funk, the rally house term.
A lot of
I
it's
found
kind
that
of
so
good,
weird.
like,
Like,
but
yeah, I mean, it's good. It's like people are making, I make rally house, and it's like, isn't that just like house? Like, well, what do you
Yeah,
mean rally?
that's
Why do you
funny.
gotta call it that? Like,
rally house.
yeah, yeah.
Well, there's an issue in our scene, so I wouldn't call it an issue, but just like over compartmentalization of subgenres, extremely granular subgenres in the vaporwave scene get kind of, it's entertaining and kind of cool, but also kind of comical at the same time. So it's refreshing to know that happens in other scenes.
Oh yeah, and it happens all the time. Like, it's just like
Rally
this.
house.
It'll be like a new wave of people discovering something that's been around for ages, but then because they didn't know it already existed, they call it something else, and then that new term becomes like what they think it is, and
Yep.
it's like, yeah, rally house, but like it's actually just like new house or like 90s house, but like because they see it on compilations of like Group B rally cars going around, because that's from like the 80s
There
and
you go.
90s, and it's like it's interesting, and but like it does like, it's a bit of a gripe for me, I think.
Hilarious.
But,
I've definitely noticed more and more genres that essentially define themselves around like, we took a thing that you already know and we put a hat on it. And you're like, oh, it's a hat. It's like, yeah, it's all new with a hat. And
yeah.
good
I
for
guess just
everyone.
people like producing something in the pastiche of something older, like PS1 Jungle. Great example.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
making breaks like as if it was 2001 again,
Yeah.
You want to get another good
We
question in,
like
Paul, before I go
hats.
nuts?
I might have only bag questions now. I'm trying to think. You go nuts for a second. Let me interrupt you when I feel the
Tom,
spirit.
why do you think some acts are popular and some are not?
Oh, okay, we're getting into the interesting ones. All right. Honestly, I think these days a lot of it is, it's like 50% skill, 50% luck. Like, and also, okay, no, let me rephrase that. 25% skill, 25% luck, 50% how you present yourself online.
That's fair.
Especially with the algorithms and stuff these days.
Jesus.
So like people that are like really popular will either be people that got popular before this whole algorithm era, or people that have like used the algorithm to their advantage and like promoted themselves like in a way the algorithm likes, but also have good content as well that appeals to a certain audience, or like that. That's probably what I'd say.
Okay. A little bit of finessing, a little bit of being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah, I mean,
Definitely a lot of luck.
Things,
You never know what's going to be popular on TikTok day to day.
Exactly. Sometimes the algorithm just goes.
It moves so fast.
There's just a dart, throws a dart at a wall, bang. Oh, I want that to be popular today. Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna make that popular. And then there's one lucky person, they win the lottery and they get all the views, that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's hard because you have to walk a weird mental line where you excuse some things to the algorithm, but you still have to beat the shit out of yourself. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like you're like, but I gotta make a better one. I gotta do the thing a little bit better. Fuck the algorithm.
Yeah.
You gotta have your fidget spinner track, bro.
Where was it? Yeah, that was your 2025 problem right there.
I mean, that might be partly why I've felt like my not viewer base. It's not YouTube. What am I talking about? My fan base is like has been kind of like, I don't want to say stagnating, but it's like very much like hit a kind of like plateau, and it is like very steadily increasing in some areas. But like I've never bothered with appeasing the algorithm and stuff. Like I post the same way on Instagram as I did back in 2016. Like I just post some pictures, I put a message on the bottom, that kind of thing. Like I don't bother with this real stuff. And maybe that's why, because I haven't adapted to the new sort of, appeasing the algorithm type content. So
how did I try to? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, like, has it taken it a while to gain traction, or did Amber? Okay.
It has a little bit. There were a few mishaps with release as well. So like there was some internal label shuffles, like staff shuffling happening, and some things got missed and some things happened a bit later than they should, and so as a result, I think the algorithm didn't pick up on I Try as well as it could have. So although it has done fairly well, like better than I thought it would, I'm happy with how it's doing. I think there's a bit more potential that like was left on the table with it. But
I honestly found it was there because and I feel like everything now just takes off later than you expect it to because of all of this what we're talking about. But I found it during the lead up to like I need to go back and I need to just fucking soak my head in his music again, and I found it. It's beautiful. It's a great record. And I was like, why haven't I fucking heard about this? I follow him on the things. Spotify, where were you on that one? Yeah. Apple Music, what's up? Somebody tell me about this shit. Bandcamp, anybody. But and I think it's just the noise ratio is just always.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that, and also actually something that has I thought about in the last couple months actually is I Try EP is kind of the first release that I've had where, at least the A side, I've targeted more of like a club ready sound as opposed to like a listener focused sound. And so like if you look at the Bandcamp sales, they're actually doing pretty well, if not better than Minobu. But streaming sales, streaming wise, it's not doing as well. But like if you target that kind of club ready sound, you're gonna get DJs
the
buying
beatport
music,
purchaser,
and selling it
version,
and playing it. Exactly. And so like seeing it doing well on the Bandcamp, sort of like it tells me that like DJs buying it and playing it, and so people are probably hearing it. But that's sort of like something you don't see if you make dance music, especially more club focused dance music. You don't see the 500 people that heard your track when this DJ played it in this club in London or whatever, so yeah, that could be why also the numbers are a little bit down. But who knows? Just speculation. So.
It's
And
DJs that
numbers,
won't drop track IDs.
There it is. Let's blame them. Yeah, I like it. Let's go back to that take.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I don't blame them. It's a lot of work to like. Realistically, am I gonna go play a 2-hour set and then at every single DJ that I played within the 2 hours and
Yeah, fair.
and also record every single one that I played, you know, and send them a video of it? Like, it's just not, it's feasibly not really possible.
Even as a well-meaning listener, the truth is that like any streaming, you know, I can listen to you on Apple Music and I can get to the end of your record. It'll feed me into Monolithic. 2 hours later, I'm still going, like playing some game, listening to 30 artists I should have written down the names of that have come through some sort of feed. Like, I feel like it's very, we live in a time when like the act of, if you accidentally passive listen to something, you are going to passive listen to 20 other things and just never know what you even heard. So you have to work to even get back there.
Yeah, because like the moment you like finish an EP or an album or like a track on Spotify, it'll straight away just recommend you something else and just auto play the next thing, you know. Before you know it, you've listened to 10 things when you meant to listen to like one, and it's like, yeah, it's that sort of dilution again.
We're going to go ahead and open the chat up to questions for our guest, Tom Vernon. So you guys fill that chat up with questions. If you don't mind, anything you'd like to ask to pick his brain. We had a question out like an hour ago. One of your, I believe it was one of your fans who is a new chatter, asked what your favorite video game soundtracks are.
Oh, okay. Well, there's definitely one all-time favorite. That's probably got to be the Minecraft soundtrack by C418.
You said all-time favorite?
Yeah,
I can't believe Paul just put his headphones down. He loves Minecraft.
He mentioned it earlier as well.
Yeah,
but I had my mic muted, so I couldn't tell him. But yeah, no, I actually have.
Got released on Ghostly International, like.
Yeah, and I have the double LP for Volume Beta on vinyl over there. Because yeah, it's just so awesome, and I have sampled it here and there as well. So.
Oh no way! That's badass.
Yeah. If you listen to Minobu in the Rain on Minobu EP, there's a little Minecraft reference in there.
I do love Minobu EP. It's so gentle, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
and also
it's like the audio version of Stardew Valley.
yeah. That's like I really tried to theme that one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also on Amber Fade EP, it's for risk of copyright. It's actually like a bonus track you can only get on the vinyl. But I basically sample flipped. What was it? I think was it Dry Hands? I think it was Dry Hands. Yeah. I sample flipped Dry Hands.
You chose the worst time to put your headphones down. He's been talking about how much he loves the Minecraft soundtrack.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh, he's
sorry.
muted.
Well,
yeah, no,
I
you're
left
good.
at the dumbest possible time. Yeah, I'm a huge.
I wouldn't use the word dumb, but you know.
What?
I wouldn't use the word dumb, but like he was talking about how much he loved the Minecraft soundtrack, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. Canada Dry.
Cold can of ginger ale.
I wish I was as classy as you guys. I've been drinking hard Mountain Dew.
I'm drinking tea like the true Brit that I am.
Who are your favorite? Sorry, just to catch me up, who are your favorite Minecraft composer folks?
Well, it's C418, I'd say.
Okay. So you're an OG purism.
I'm an OG. Like
Nice.
I was on Java Edition before the Xbox and Windows version came out. Like, well, yeah, like that was my game as a young kid.
We got a badass over here.
Yeah. No, it's Java only. Like, what do they call it? Bedrock Edition. Ugh, get away from me. Like.
Yeah, I've never actually played. I have no idea what happens on Bedrock. People talk about it. I'm like, what? But I really also like Anton Cheroff and Lena Rain. They both do really, not Anton, Aaron Cheroff. Anyway, whatever. His name sounds cooler than Paul, so I remember it. Not well, but they're very good, and I of course love the OG score.
Yeah, No, but yeah, I pretty much, probably my most listens in terms of like video game soundtrack is like the OG C418 Minecraft stuff. So I was just saying how I've got Volume Beta on vinyl over there in the corner, and I've sampled it in a few of my tracks as well.
Oh my
yeah.
god! Oh my god! No, but do you have some? There are a few times that I have heard in the background of your music while I was playing Minecraft noises that I thought were Minecraft, but then I realized were in the music. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah.
You're
Unreal.
fucking me up, man. That's awesome.
Oh, that's
I love
funny.
that.
Yeah.
Damn.
And yeah,
We
just before you arrived, I was just saying how on Amber Fade EP, I actually put a bonus track on the vinyl because for risk of like copyright and stuff, where I basically sample flipped Right Hands by C418. Made it into like, cause you know like the classic like DJ Seinfeld like piano and then distorted 909 drums, and I was like, I want to do that but with dry hands, and so I did that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's rad.
That is awesome, buddy. We got a backlog of questions. Keep them coming, chat. Ursula's cartridges, Doom or Quake?
Doom or Quake? Oh god. For me, because I'm a Counter-Strike guy, Counter-Strike is very Quakey. It's more Quake than Doom. Source engine and stuff, you know. I've got to say Quake. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
for the
would be.
record, Quake every time.
I am so bad at FPSs. I'm gonna just Quake, I guess. Both two very well educated people with great taste are saying Quake. I guess I'm gonna have to concur. Truman, least favorite lo-fi tropes.
Oh, okay. My least favorite. This one's been bugging me for the longest time. It's a bit of a hot take.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm also guilty of it as well. So basically, my least favorite trope, lo-fi house trope, is when the producer uses 2 chords as their main hook, 1 and 4, and they just go dun, 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 with like no other melodic elements at all. And I say that I'm guilty of that because Amber Fade is literally that. But like it's so done to death at this point. Like if I hear it, it feels like I've heard it already, and I just switch off. I'm on the next track already. Like I'm gone. So if I what's the other track? The Blue Winona by DJ Boring. That is like the textbook example of that.
That is the one.
But the thing is, like that was done before it became a trope. So like.
Yeah, that's an OG.
Oh no, that
one.
track is a banger.
It's like one of the OG ones,
no
right?
shade. Yeah,
you
like
know?
that.
So, but if I hear it now, I'm like, I kind of roll my eyes. Next song. You know?
Yeah, once it gets done enough, I guess, you know. I mean, like, I just got an album by this, like, chiptune metal artist called Master Boot Record the other day, and it's just like, all right, it's the 7th album I've heard by him. Like, I'm not hearing any evolution. I guess I'm over it. I don't know. Am I getting old? I don't know. Or just, like, maybe the early shit was better. I don't know.
Sometimes it takes time to. I find whenever I lock in with an artist, I don't always come back to them easily. You know, like
Fair.
Sometimes their evolution isn't what I would plan for them. It's the result of their weird bonkers midnight sessions getting way too high in their own studio with themselves and shit like that. You know, music is born in weird ways. So I don't know. I find a lot of times I'll be like, this is not for me, and then I'll come back 3 years later. I'm like, Crisis Alert, it's the best record ever.
I do that too. I try to space out my listens of albums in an artist's discography. I'm embarrassed to admit I haven't heard everything you've made, Tom. Because, like, I like to space that shit out so that it doesn't all blur together. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do anyone the disservice of listening to their entire discography in one sitting. I'm going to listen to a chiptune metal artist and then come back to your discog a month or 2 later. I don't know.
I think that's the ideal listener. Like, Most people are going to maybe give you 30 seconds, review everything you did, and never check your ass out again if you didn't fit their vibe of the day. Like, I would much rather have somebody slowly digest your music over a period of years, because at least you get a chance of not catching them in their shitty Monday mood or whatever, like as the only time you ever played for them, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel so validated. Woo! All right, next question. Late Arcane. I don't know what this means. What is your standard Greg's order? It's probably a
Standard
British
Greg's order.
question.
Oh god. Okay. It's got to be. It depends. If I'm in a sausage roll mood, I'll go regular sausage roll and then vegan sausage roll because I like them both. I think they're both really good. If I'm in a sort of slice mood, I'll probably go for my favorite slice is the chicken one, and then second favorite is beans, cheese, and sausage. And I'll get those two. That's my.
It is in fact
my
a
two Greg's
restaurant
orders.
question. So I just found out. Did you see, Paul? Did you see Raina said? I think in the mod chat, there's a Nando's in Maryland.
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently, we have a Nando's in the States. I would love to try it. I know it's a trope, but like, it's got to be decent. I mean, there's probably you probably don't have In-N-Out in Great Britain, so like same thing. You know,
I love In-N-Out. Oh my god, In-N-Out's so good. Oh.
I do like In-N-Out. I'm a convert because they put an In-N-Out just up the road from us, and
they are great when you're on like the keto diet. You want a protein style burger? They're great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
what had happened to me was
the lettuce wraps or something, isn't it?
Yes.
People were always like, "Oh, you've got to get your burger done like this. Get it done like this. Do the animal style. Better to fart. Have them dump a bunch of shit on your burger." I just went and got the burger the way it's supposed to go. Fantastic fucking burger. Then I figured out though that you could get the grilled onions instead of the raw onions. They're pretty good. That's very good. So I'm officially
caramelization.
Yeah, I'm sucked into the In-N-Out world now.
Ain't bad. I want to try Nando's. All right, Neon Orange. Tom's bio mentions gaining inspiration from travel. What kinds of places have inspired you? Thank you for asking.
Well, the main one is definitely Japan. I've posted a lot about that on my Instagram. And like I said, when I had my Zoom recorder, when I went around Japan, I just recorded everything. I went in COVID for about 3 months. It was supposed to be 6 months.
Wow.
It got cut short because of COVID. Just backpacking around. I had my backpack and I just sort of like started in Tokyo and I sort of moved my way through around the mountainous area, through Fuji. Went a little bit like mid to north of there in Nagano, and then I reached the point where I was like, I should probably go home now because the locals are gonna probably hate me if I keep going. And so, yeah, Japan's definitely been a big influence for me. But also like Jersey and Swansea and the places I go in the UK as well. Like people like to. Well, I've seen people describe my music as sea swept. You know, because of my from Jersey and also spending time in Swansea at uni and like contrasting the sort of urban vibe that people get from a lot of house music and UK dance music and yeah, I think it's just because I'm in these sort of I like to convey, like I said before, these like big open spaces and sort of exploration and that kind of thing. So yeah.
That's awesome, buddy. So when you were backpacking, were you like camping, like sleeping outdoors? Were you like at hostels, like a combination?
I was yeah, mostly hostels. There were a couple times where I did do some camping. So I did bring all my camping gear.
Too cool.
Yeah, there was one night where I planned to go to a campsite and I got there, but it was closed because of COVID. And so I was like, oh, damn, what do I do? Because my ride had left. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to just find a spot, I think. So I went it was right on the top of a mountain, and so I sort of like walked a little bit down a path that was closed because it was off season. Found a spot that was relatively flat and just pitched up there for the night, just on the side of this mountain in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And I think I heard a bear at night as well. That was kind of scary.
Yeah, that's what keeps
Um,
me from like just tent
but yeah.
camping. Like some kind of bear or mountain lion is just gonna. That's gonna be it for me. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, it was awesome though. Just being in the middle of nowhere, just on your own.
That's
I love
awesome.
that feeling.
I bet it
just,
was idyllic.
It's such a good feeling. Yeah.
Bort Media says you used words like atmosphere and environment to describe creating your music. Do you also listen to other genres of music the same way? Or is it unique to your music or electronic music?
Yeah, I would say there are other. Well, the music I listen to, a lot of it stays within the sort of UK dance like
True.
realm. So, but also I like to listen to the subgenres of those other dance genres that are more akin to sort of this like we said before, like the sort of atmosphere, environment, sort of open spaces vibe. So I mentioned before deep dub quite often has some really nice textures and melodic elements going on. Jungle, ambient jungle as well. Yeah, a little bit of garage as well, future garage especially, you know,
Nice.
that kind of like post-burial sort of like type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool. There's an artist in our scene that makes like like vaporwave kind of take on like cyberpunk music with a lot of like
Alright, yeah.
two-step and UK garage influence called Cryosauna. So really cool like overlap between our scene and
I'll
your
have to check
scene.
them out.
It's pretty good. If you like vibey, kind of like dark, I don't want to say mopey because I like it a lot. I think it's kind of morose sounding.
Yeah.
You'd like
Emotional.
Cryosauna.
Yeah.
Great
check it out,
question from Alive in the Wired. Tom, I saw on your blog that you went to Uji. I hope I pronounced that right. I used to live in Kyoto, so it holds a special place in my heart. Where else is on your travel bucket list? And how does it inspire your music?
Travel bucket list. Let me think. As in like other countries in the world.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cities,
'Cause I would
states,
say-
countries.
I would say there's still places in Japan that I want to visit. That's for sure.
Nice.
Like a lot of my exploration has been like mid and like a bit further down south, so pretty much exclusively between Osaka and Tokyo and the places in between in the mountainous regions. But I haven't ventured up north or south, but the north to me is a bit more appealing, I think.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go visit like Sendai, Hokkaido, places up there. They look really cool.
We have we had a couple artists in our scene that did a giant Japan tour, I believe just right before the coronavirus pandemic, and one of the guys in a trio called Death's Dynamic Shroud went all the way up to Hokkaido, I think Sapporo, whatever, very, very like tip of the country far north, and it was like so snowy, and I guess like when
it's
you
remote
think
up
of
there, isn't it? Yeah.
yes, when you think of like
So remote.
generic ideas of what Japan is like, you don't think about what the far north of Japan is like.
Yeah, they have every climate there, like almost like the US, like, which is probably why a lot of Japanese people don't leave. Is they have everything that all the types
All
of
the
climate that they
climates.
want. They got the kind of jungly stuff down south. They got this kind of crazy remote, like snowy north. They got the urban environments, the mountainous ones, the beaches, the fields, the plains, whatever. They've got it all, you know, like.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Guys, keep the questions coming. We've got about 10 more minutes before we wrap. Paul, have you got anything you want to ask Tom?
I thought everybody had so many questions.
I caught them all up.
Yeah. All right, let's just spitball here. Nobody's asked any good synth nerd questions. I know that you're a free synth person, but you like a little bit of gear. You said it was space constraints that locked you down. So let's just say money's no object and you live in a warehouse.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
Oh, okay. What, as in like one piece of gear?
It could be one. It could be one, or if there's like your dream stable. I want to hear it. I want to know.
Okay. I'd probably say going along the whole like TRAS thing. Recently, I'm seeing a lot of content on Instagram of the TR 1000. Have you seen that thing?
I have seen that thing.
Absolute beast of a unit. Oh my god.
The price is so obscene. I can't
Bro.
even let it into
What
my
is the
brain.
price?
It's like 3,500 or 3. Yeah, it depends on what market you're getting raped in.
I remember when I was like, I'll buy some CDJs, sure. And then I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no. Okay. Actually, that's another thing. I'll probably get some CDJs as well, because that might not count as synths, but like, I currently have like DJ 400s, no XDJ 400s, no XDJ 700s. Sorry, God, these bloody names. They're like standalones, but they're like the cheapest ones you can possibly buy, and it's not that nice. Like when I go DJ at a club and I'm on a set of CDJs, it's just like, oh, this is good. Like,
Do you like CDJs, or would you prefer controllers or XDJs, or like what's your choice?
I'm definitely like, I prefer standalone for sure.
Yeah.
Mainly, it's probably the nerdiest reason. Latency is they have no latency, and just the fact that I produce on like on an ASIO compatible interface, I'm used to having like 5 milliseconds of latency, and if you
that's way too
if I'm
much
using a
latency.
controller, 5 is too much. With the controller, you're at the mercy of whatever laptop that you're plugging into,
Yep.
and it's not always good. And also, I don't like looking at a big screen.
Fair.
So yeah, it's got to be standalone for me. Yeah.
Sick. Puff and Bill Grooves, are there any people from Japan in your scene?
Monolithic is actually Japanese, so
I think he's in
Japan.
Brooklyn. No,
Yeah, he's not living there, but yeah, he's there. Let me think.
I don't know why.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought he lived there. Maybe I saw something.
There are
So-
other acts.
There's one guy that I did a collab with called Soshi Takeda,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he was one of the like lo-fi house guys in that era, but he's moved on to this cool sort of like, I don't know what you call it. It's further towards the vaporwave end. It's like very sort of like 80s sort of synthy sort of vibe, sort of slower paced, sort of, I don't know how to describe it.
Is that still
his-
under the same artist name, or did he?
Oh yeah,
change?
same artist name.
Okay.
Same artist name.
I must have
You
missed
probably
it.
really like his latest stuff. His sound is really cool. It's not house, but it does sound really cool.
I haven't heard him do anything I didn't like, so I'll go. That'll
Yeah.
be my next thing to listen to.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Listen to
Great question from Roge Corp. And honestly, you and I briefly talked about Vaporwave when we did the AV test, and you had some, thoughts and some knowledge about it. Roge Corp would like to know if there's any Vaporwave or adjacent artists that you fuck with really heavily.
Honestly, I'm gonna be brutally honest. Probably not the answer you guys want to hear. I've never really listened to Vaporwave. Like, I've stayed in my like lo-fi house box, or well, outside a house box, as you say. People
Yeah.
are not using that term anymore. And I never really ventured outside of it. Like, I know about Vaporwave, and like I know what it sounds like, and I know some of the inspirations behind it and stuff, but I've never really like properly listened to it, so I don't really know any artists, Vaporwave artists and stuff. So I don't know.
I mentioned to you briefly that there is some crossover. There's
Yeah.
an artist I mentioned called Cult Member. I believe you
Cult Member.
briefly
Yeah.
listened, and Cult Member makes lo-fi house music, but just
He does. Yeah.
chooses to release on Vaporwave labels. And I think that that's a great intro for many of our people to get into what you and what your people are into. It's a great gateway drug. Background, good name drop there, Roche Corp. Honestly, like
Yeah.
if you like sound textures, there's definitely some shit we could show you that I think you'd resonate with. You know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd be interested. Yeah. I'm always down
All
to listen
right.
to new music.
Y'all, we probably got time to get one or two more in while I wait for those
Yeah.
to stream in. Let me ask, if you could, I kind of think I know how you're going to answer this question, but what would be your absolute, like if you had to describe, what would be your absolute favorite music of all time?
Oh God. Oh, that's a really hard one. Absolute favorite music of all time. Like when you say favorite music of all time, is that like a genre?
Just
like an
describe
era?
it for me. It doesn't
Or
have to
like-
be a name of an artist, a song, a genre.
God.
Like what is perfect music to you?
Okay, for me, I think it's gonna be. The reason it's my favorite is not because like I think it sounds the best. It's because it's like important to me, and I'll probably say, like the sort of early 2000s era of house music, when it was like, your Basement Jacks, your Michael Gray, Shapeshifters, whatever. Like, and the reason being is because my dad played a lot of that when I was very young.
that's
'cause He
cool.
was into that.
Oh,
And
that's
that was like my
awesome.
exposure. That was my exposure to house music, essentially. And that's kind of why I started making house music. Actually, was because, or why I liked house music was because of that. I love that music. And
That's really special.
yeah. Yeah,
That's the most
it'll always
wholesome
be special
dad
to me.
rock story.
Seriously.
That's the whole, I don't even know if I've got a house dad rock story, but for that moment, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
A real quick last one before we wrap. Luxury Elite would like to know, what would your perfect show lineup be?
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna talk current right now because
Do it.
a lot of the older lo-fi house guys don't play it anymore. It's got to be Monolithic,
Yes.
Hush Hush, because he plays those cool
He's
wonky
good.
like New York style garage stuff. God, who else would I do? Oh, Kink. I love Kink.
Okay.
That's that. Not house, but like more sort of techno. But like he's so awesome, and he does like hardware only sets as well. So and yeah, he posts like clips of the stuff he does on Instagram and like just the jam he made like that day, and it's always like absolute fire. And yeah, him.
I'm familiar with very familiar with Monolithic. I've just kind of gotten into Hush Hush. I need to check out that last artist for sure.
Yeah, Kink is cool. A bit outside of what we've talked about recently. Oh, and last but not least, Chaos and the CBD.
Oh, I love
Definitely.
Chaos in the
Yeah.
CBD.
Chaos and the CBD.
When we had JD
We were
Sanuti
just
on,
talking about them the
guy
other
was
day.
telling you
and
about,
John
he
Sable.
was talking about
And John Sable.
John Sable. Not heard John Sable. To check him
John
out.
Sable is one of their good friends, and he releases
Okay.
on their label, Industry Trust, and
Nice.
a lot of people I feel like a lot of people listen to John Sable and they see the Industry Trust like art, and they assume that it's actually Chaos and CBDs, but it's not. It's John Sable's. The stuff he makes is awesome as well. So yeah.
Hell yeah. I got some shit to check on. I'm glad you name dropped Monolithic too, because he's so good, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
Y'all, we're down to our last 5 minutes on hot takes. So what we like to do, Tom, when we wrap, is we like to give you the floor to put everybody on, promote anything you want, link us
God.
to you, tell us what you got going on, name drop some people, just whatever you want to say before we wrap for the night.
God. Oh God. I'm really bad at this stuff.
I know, my bad.
I've got to say, I'll probably just. Oh, okay. I can promote the VR chat gig that I'm doing next week. I
Dude,
guess.
that's badass. Please do.
Yeah, there's I'm DJing for Refuge next week, on Wednesday, 14th, 11 p.m. GMT, 6 p.m. EST. It'll be on their Twitch, so you can tune into there. Or if you want to download VR Chat and hop in, you can do that as well. VR Chat's free, so you can just literally just download the game and join and check it out. So yeah, I'll be doing an hour of house music there. Yeah, and you can follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Blue Sky. I don't really post on Twitter anymore because yeah, we don't talk about Twitter. Sorry, they call it X these days. Whatever. So yeah, I guess that's what I have to say.
Hell yeah.
And check out my latest EP, I Try, if you haven't already. That's more sort of like a more club focused sound on the A side. B side, a little bit more of that sort of. There's a lo-fi house track on there and some ambient mixes of some tracks on the A side if you like that kind of thing. So yeah.
I quite liked it.
Tom Vernon, everybody, thank you so much for being here and staying up until 2 a.m. GMT for us and your listeners and our listeners. It means so much. Y'all check out Tom's work if you like melody, if you like sound textures, if you like sounds that will make you feel feelings and scratch your brain. I'm telling you, if you like to dance, listen to his music, buy his work, follow him on social media. If you're a fan of Cult Member, Mall Grab, or DJ Sabrina, and you're not a fan of Tom Vernon, what are you doing? Check it out. But this has been lovely. Luxury Noise, what have you got going on in the future that you want to tell us about? Or what have you done recently as well that you want to tell us about?
Yeah, so I am going to drop a link in the chat. I recently posted Forgive Yourself, the remastered edition, new position, and After Everything DLCM codes.
That's right.
And I also did for the holidays the Luxury Noise Christmas special as part of the Roge Corp Christmas URL show that's name is completely eluding me at this
Christmas
point.
on the Isles, Volume 1.
Christmas on the Isles, Volume 1, thank you. And Roge Noise, yeah, that's my new thing. So I did that, and I released a secret record, and if you go to that DLCM link right there in the chat, you can have a free copy. It's got a lot of my secret shady shit that I'm afraid to release any other way. And then the secret exciting news that I'm going to say out loud for the first time anywhere tonight is a few months back, I reached out to a label that does really exciting re-releases of things as part of remastering Forgive Yourself, and they thought that I wasn't crazy for reaching out to them, so Arctic Contact will be putting out a physical of the Forgive Yourself remaster that looks fucking awesome. I cannot wait to start leaking the pictures on January 23rd. So that is just a couple of Fridays away, and there will only be, I think, 50 copies. So please go get it. Yeah, who knows what the future may hold, but on Friday, January 23rd. There will be 50 copies available, so go get that shit. It looks so good. I want a copy. I am excited. They did updated art that is just so awesome, and really exciting working with them. And maybe, I don't know if we'll do a listening party. I guess probably. I don't know. I should talk to Arctic Contact so that I can plug that. But look, that's a good question, Lux. But yeah, so that's coming out. I'm very excited about that. And then I have some live shit coming up.
Yes.
February, Frez and Truman and special guest from out of town, Agnar, and I will all be playing here in Denver on the 20th at the Squirm Gallery in Denver, which is Isaac, Picture Plane used to play at that place, Rhinoceropolis, all the time. This is actually the current iteration of that. This is the
current iteration of Rhinoceropolis. Wow.
Yeah, so
that's huge.
we're waiting on some double confirmations. We'll go really hard on promo about that after that happens, but a little local fun for the Denver people, and Denver will be back with, some of my Minecraft people, let's be real. And that's all I got. I
Sick.
can't talk about anything else. Nothing else is real enough yet. So,
I feel that on a spiritual level, my boy. So I also was involved in Christmas on the Isles Volume 1. I did a 20-minute bubblegum-based DJ set with some Bobby Tank, some Wave Racer, and some other kawaii future trap from the mid-2010s SoundCloud era. So let me drop that link with visuals courtesy of Roge Corp himself. Check that out if you miss that era of bubblegum bass. I liked it. He seemed to like it as well. Ryan Hemsworth type beat. Got some IRL stuff coming up, but before I talk about that, I have been booked to do a DJ set for Future Sounds FM, which is My Pet Flamingo's kind of like synthwave, not label, but kind of like just like curation, networking, like blog, you could say. Been working on a set with some retro favorites. It's all over the place. I've got everything from MCRT and what's that guy? I can't remember his name. But anyways, MCRT with like some early 2010s chillwave like Choral Revan with some Mega Drive tracks, just everything. Anything retro, I've got it mixed together. It's going to be fun. 45 minutes for Future Sounds FM. Don't have a date on that. Haven't completed the set, but if you like chillwave, synthwave, new disco, or anything in that vein, you'll like it. It's fun and very danceable. It's got some lo-fi house towards the end. It'll be good. I'll tell you what tracks I used later. I can't remember off the top of my head. So IRL not next year. We're in 2026. We got some shows that have yet to be announced, but one that has been announced. It's in May in Detroit, but don't want to give too much details because I don't want to mess it up and don't want to be wrong. But doing some work in other cities as well. No names, no destinies, no dates yet, but doing 3 big URL shows. I believe, if everything goes as planned, in 2026. So that'll be good. Thank you guys to everyone that booked Young SHIRO. One of those shows is definitely going to be just a future funk set. Just danceable, fucking, weeby city pop flips. It'll be good. And you guys will love it, I'm sure. I haven't done a future funk set since Midwest Aesthetic Summer Synapse, so that'll be fun. But yeah, other than that, nothing that I can really say publicly, but we'll start promoting the shit out of that as the day draws near. I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in, whether you were a regular or a new viewer. Thank you for being here for Hot Takes. If you're listening on a podcasting service, thank you for listening in. Feel free to repost, tweet, share if you like Hot Takes. Be sure and check out Tom Vernon's work. I said it already. We were honored to have him on the show. He's probably ready for bed at this point, but thank you very much for making time to talk to us, man. It meant so much. If you guys will tune in, normally we do this show on Mondays at 8. Our next date's going to be Monday, January 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a guest that we have 95% confirmed, but we don't want to name drop yet, but he's going to be a big name from the chillwave scene. If we can confirm that, you're definitely going to want to tune in for this early 2010s juggernaut that is still making some of the luscious chillwave that ever was made. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I hope you all have an awesome night. Good night.
continue with.